Hello everyone and welcome to another Fallout 4 tips and tricks video. This time I'm going to be doing 3 more random and unrelated tips. If you haven't seen my first random tips episode, I'll leave a link for that in the description below, so go check that out if you haven't seen it. Alright, now without further ado, let's get into it. The first tip is one that a lot of you might already know about, but a lot of you probably don't. A couple of my friends didn't know about it when I mentioned it to them, so I thought I'd do a video about it, even though it's kind of an old tip. And that is, you can increase your settlement build limit indefinitely by utilizing a simple glitch, which I hope they never ever patch because we'd all be in trouble then, wouldn't we? So as you can see here, I've reached the build limit in my settlement and I cannot build anything else. I'm trying to build this prefab, but it's telling me nothing more can be built. I'm sure a lot of you have run into this problem. So to fix this, what you're going to want to do is drop as many guns on the ground in your settlement as you can find. Not so many that it will crash your game when you drop them all, you know, a reasonable amount. If you've got more than 5 of one kind of gun, be sure to drop them all individually so you can pick them up individually, because that's what you're going to do next. You're going to go into your build menu and store the guns one at a time into your workshop. As you do this, you'll start to see your build size bar decrease a tiny bit for each gun stored. Now, this has been called the store weapons glitch, but I suggest not using just any weapon, but rather guns only. Not to say that other weapons don't work, because they do, but they work so much less that it's not even worth the effort. The more complex the item stored, the more of a dent it will make in your build limit. As you can see, my build size has decreased enough that it's no longer yellow and has turned green again, allowing me to build that prefab. It might be worth mentioning that this will also work if you scrap the item, but then you won't have it anymore and you'll have to go collect more if you want to do this again. So storing them is easier in the long run. Some people say that it's the size of the weapon that matters, but this isn't entirely true. It's actually the complexity that matters. So a basic hunting rifle will cause less of a dent than a fully modded sniper rifle. The more modded the weapon is, the more effective it is. This will work with other items as well, such as regular junk, but again, guns work the best because they are more complex than most other items. I advise you to use this glitch at your own risk. There is a reason Bethesda made a build limit to begin with, and that was to prevent you from overloading your game with thousands of items. So if you use this glitch too often in one settlement, it could potentially cause problems. I think it really depends on your system and what it's capable of. I'm on the PS4 and I haven't experienced any trouble, and I've used this glitch at least 4 or 5 times in this one settlement alone. But other people have reported problems after using it only once. So be sure to make a hard save before each time you do it, just in case you have issues. The next tip is one that a lot of you may not know about, since it's a fairly new addition added in one of the recent patches. This is the ability to rotate items when you pick them up. So pick them up by holding down the activate button. Then you can rotate it by hitting the right and left bumper on a controller. This is the same button you use to rotate items in the build menu. However, to get it to rotate on a different axis, you have to press down the left stick on the PS4. I think it's the same on Xbox, and I have no idea what it is on the PC, sorry guys. But on the PS4, it's the button you use for sprinting, so it may be that way for all platforms, but don't take my word on that. Anyway, each time you press that button, you can then rotate the item on a different axis. This makes it super easy to position items when decorating your settlements. It's especially helpful for items that don't behave in the build menu and want to clip into the floor, such as this teddy bear. Instead of using the build menu, just drop the bear on the floor and pick it up the normal way, and use the rotation to get it into the position you want. No sinking into the floor or the shelf. On a similar note, within the build menu, you can move items away from or closer to you by holding down the activate button. This makes it easier to place items into areas where you can't physically go. Next, I'm going to show you a way to make cable railings. They are for aesthetic purposes only, since they don't actually provide safety from falling off a ledge, but they do look pretty nice. So, place however many fence posts you want. I'm using the picket fence posts, but you can use the regular ones if you want to. Then build one dresser for each post. Place each dresser onto the edge of a small rug. Then place an upward-facing power conduit on the top of each dresser. Connect a wire between all the conduits. Then, one at a time, move the conduits into the posts using the rug glitch. When you let go of them, the wires will reconnect. Once you've got them in place, remove the dressers and the rugs. Now, the conduits will fall to the floor inside the posts, but the wires will stay put. It actually doesn't look bad. You can see the base of each conduit at the bottom, but to me it actually looks like a small bracket that's used to nail the post to the floor, so it actually works. Sometimes the part of the conduit that's showing will shimmer. Normally, I would just grab it in the build menu and release it again to make that stop happening. This is what I do with everything else, but it won't work for this, since as soon as you grab it, it will reattach the wires down low, ruining your railing. So you'll have to leave them be even if they're shimmering. But they're so small that it really isn't that noticeable anyway. Alright, that's it for this episode, everyone. I hope you liked it. If you learned something new, be sure to give the video a like, and if you missed my last tips and tricks video, you can use the link on the screen there to go watch it. And be sure to subscribe for more videos like this one if you haven't already. I've also got a Fallout 4 Let's Play if you enjoy that kind of thing, and be sure to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for game news, channel updates, and other random game-related stuff. All the links are in the description. That's it for now, guys. I'll see you later.